Verse 17. Moses' father-in-law said to him, "What you're doing is not good." Right? Again, that is pretty straightforward. All these people, every single day. How long can you continue, Moses? There's so many of them. There's always going to be disputes. Always going to, and notwithstanding the fact that, like, they need to eat and this and all of these other things. You are the leader. You can't go on like this, Moses. This is not good. Verse 18. You and the people with you will certainly wear yourselves out, for the thing is too heavy for you. You are not able to do it alone. Okay, so he's saying, yeah, you can't do this alone. It is too much. Not only you going to wear out, but these people standing around the whole day. I mean, it's like me recording these verses. Like it's steps one, right? And it's you can't always just go on. You need to here and then take a break. And even there's always so many beautiful sites where you want to record, more to record, right? But you know, you can't, Moses, go on like this. The people can't just all every day come and hope that today their situation will be solved, because maybe the queue is too long, and by the time they reach you, you're already in bed and asleep, and they need to come again tomorrow, and they need to try again. It's such a waste of time, Moses. No, he didn't say that, but ultimately, it's just, it can't go on like this. It's not good. You can't do it alone. Verse 19. Now obey my voice. I will give you advice, and God be with you. You shall represent the people before God and bring their cases to God. And you shall warn them about the statutes and the laws, and make them known the way in which they must walk and what they must do. Okay, so Jethro doesn't start off with saying, okay, you must now stop doing this. He's just giving him a better way of doing the same thing, right? So, obey my voice. You obey my voice, God will be with you. I mean, another proof the fact that this guy worshiped the true God, ultimately. Okay, because if you obey me as a animist, witchcraft doctor or something, you know, witch doctors like we have them in South Africa. If you obey me, then you know you're following the word of God, right? If you tell that to a Bible-believing Christian, you're like, no way. I mean, there's only one way. There's only one true God. I mean, I can't follow you, witch doctor, and then at the same time, if I follow you, then I'm obeying God. No, I'm not doing that. I'm disobeying God, because God and you have nothing in common. So it's not stating this here, right? So again, that proves as well that this guy was a true worshiper. So I'll give you advice, and God be with you. The thing, right? So keep on representing God. Keep on representing the people before God. Keep on bringing the cases to God. And you need to warn them about the statutes and the law, because you are the one ultimately, I mean, he's going to get the 10 commandments. He's going to get all those other laws. So you need to keep on doing this. I'm not saying you don't do this, right? You need to make them know the way, so they know how to get to Champai in this case, right? To get through all their troubles. You need to keep on doing this. Okay? So they can walk and they will know what to do. Verse 21. Moreover, look for able men from all the people, men who fear God, who are trustworthy and hate a bribe, and place such men over the people as chiefs of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and of tens. So it says, yes, so what you need to do, you need to go and look for able men. And which kind of men, according to him, able? We get a whole list in the New Testament as well, what the pastor's supposed to be, right? It's a husband of one wife kind of idea, not the husband of, not the wife of one husband or something like that, right? But so what are able men, right? Firstly, they need to fear, they need to be men, okay? They need to fear God, okay? They need to be trustworthy. They need to hate a bribe. Okay, so it's not a kind of person who's like, okay, but I mean, if yeah, well, there's people who claim to fear God, but then, no, I mean, as Christians, we all sin. So, yeah, there's lots of Christians who take bribes. I hate bribes. It's so destructive. I mean, it is really just so destructive. Countries are, so many people suffer. You think, okay, you get away with it fast, and you get away from this cop or something like that by giving him a bribe. You're destroying everybody else. It's like like being like going and pushing in front of a queue. You make life so much difficult for everybody else behind you. Yes, you are now done, but now you're making it 10 times more difficult for everyone else. It's so selfish. So yeah, bribe. In a certain sense, I would think, if a person fears God, so he's trustworthy, then he ought to hate a bribe. But seemingly, some people claim to be trustworthy, and some people claim to fear God and everything. But then at the same time, they still like to get the envelope, right? Now, yeah, bribing officials, a problem then, a problem today. Corruption, oh man, I don't want to go into this, but yeah, it's such a big problem where it is so destructive. I mean, you can see roads in countries where they give so much money for roads to be repaired and ultimately nothing is done. Where's all the money? Right, in Russia, we used to make a joke about that, that the people there are now near neighboring village, they were just local crooks, because, I mean, local people taking bribe because they only could afford a house there. But the higher up guys taking bribes could ask for more. They had houses in Cyprus and places like that, and the whole high up guys, they had houses in London. But yeah, bribing. So a list of what these people are these men supposed to be like. Okay, fearing God, trustworthy, not taking bribes, men. And they need to be then chiefs of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, of tens. So smaller, like a family, and then higher to descend, higher, up till thousands. And now if there are a million, it's 10. And now thousands might mean 10. If it's 10,000, yeah, I don't want to do the math here too much, because if it's 10,000, then it's 10 for 100,000, it's a million, that's 100 of them, which is not that many kind of idea. But it's 1,000, and it's going to be 1,000 of people, which ultimately, if all 1,000 of them need to come to Moses, then there's still quite a lot of people to come to Moses. So yes, that is what you need to do, and appoint them over all of this.